one thing remains the same. Tom Brady is a Super Bowl champion again for the record-setting 7th time. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are Super Bowl 55 champions, led by Tom Brady.
Not too much has changed in Tampa since hoisting the Lombardi Trophy in February and throwing an epic parade. In fact, they're the only team in the modern era to bring back all 22 starters from a Super Bowl winning team. So how will they respond to being the hunted going into the 2021 NFL season? When you're led by the GOAT, you embrace expectation.
My favorite ring is the next one. The next one. That's what it's all about.
The champs will kick off their season at home against the Dallas Cowboys. And with a seemingly healthy Dak Prescott fully recovered from injury, a new voice in defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, and a rookie linebacker expected to make an immediate impact, expectations are still high in Dallas, Vegas making the Cowboys the favorites to win the NFC East. And despite winning just 3 playoff games in the past 25 years, Jerry Jones is still very much of the belief that this Cowboys team can compete for a Super Bowl right now.
We've got size, we've got speed. I think we've got a chance to be a real good team.
So will the Cowboys get off to a strong start and upset the defending champions at Raymond James Stadium, or will Brady and the Bucs pick up right where they left off? Fire the cannons! The 2021 NFL season is officially here.
And here to give us winning picks and props for tonight's opener, we go to the Caesars Sportsbook, Wild Wild West in Atlantic City. Emory Hunt breaking out his best, a 3-piece for the NFL kickoff. He's got a bunch of tickets in hand. Emory, we're going to start simple. The line keeps moving around against the Cowboys. It's now 8.5, the biggest of week 1. Which side are you on?
I'm on the underside of that call. I'm taking the Cowboys in the points. That's a large spread that doesn't involve the Baltimore Ravens run game. So I'm taking the under and also taking the Cowboys to cover that spread, because you look at this game, there's a ton of matchups across the board, and people ignore the fact that the Cowboys have some favorable matchups on offense, so they will have their opportunities to score against Tampa Bay, and I think their defense is athletic enough to match up. We'll see the week 1 inconsistencies from both teams. This is essentially the 5th preseason game or the 4th preseason game now. It's the first time guys are out there playing for a full 60-minute football game. So expect a slow start, a wild second and third quarter, and a tight fourth quarter. So I'm definitely taking the Cowboys in the points here.
We heard Mike McClure on the Early Edge podcast this morning, and his play was on the over. He loves the over at 51.5. But unders ruled the day in week 1 of college football. Emory, tell us why you like the under tonight in the first game of the NFL season.
Because you can expect a slow start from both teams, and that's an entire quarter that you want to just throw out the window. Again, first time both offense and defensive starters are going to be playing out there for a full 60-minute game. So you normally have those teams start slow. They ramp up toward the second quarter, third quarter. You'll see an offensive explosion. And when things get tight, you'll see it start to slow down, and both teams try to protect their respective leads. So I see the ball game going under that 51.5 total because of it being week 1.
Last 5 meetings have gone under, but none of those had Tom Brady at quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's give us some props here, Emory. You got a Cowboys prop for us. What do you like?
I like CeeDee Lamb going over 5.5 receptions. I know, common thought is that the Cowboys will have to run the football with Ezekiel Elliott, but if they want to run the football, they can still spread the defense out, take Vita Vea out the game, and throw the football. So I look for a lot of short, quick passes from CeeDee Lamb. I think 5.5 is a low number. I expect 30-plus completions for Dak Prescott tonight, so 5.5 or more would definitely go to CeeDee Lamb, because he's someone that could be an extension of your run game that can take a short pass a long way.
13 projected fantasy points, and our fantasy projections have him with 7 targets and 5 receptions. Last 10 games of last season, he only went over 5.5 one time, but it is a new season, and the Cowboys are going to be utilizing CeeDee Lamb a lot more this season. Dak Prescott back at quarterback. How about on the Bucs side? What's your player prop for Tampa?
You look at the favorable matchups that Tampa has in the passing game. It's their receiving core versus the corners of Dallas. So you look at that prop of Mike Evans going over 4.5 receptions. I feel like that's an easy number. He can get to that in the first quarter. So I definitely would smash that over. He's someone they're going to try to work into the game early, test that quote-unquote revamped secondary of Dallas. We'll see how well those corners do against what they have out there on the perimeter. So I like that number for Mike Evans. I feel as though it's a very low number, so it's almost begging you to take it.
Plus money on that as well, plus 120. He's projected for 14.5 fantasy points. It's tough to really value these wide receivers in fantasy, even the running backs for Tampa, because they just have so much depth. You also like one of the receivers as far as your first touchdown scorer because you love the value on Antonio Brown. Why do you think he's going to get it done tonight?
Because he's someone that, when you look at their pecking order, it probably falls into 1, 2, 3, and that 3 is Antonio Brown. I just envision him going deep over the middle of the field, catching one of those rainbow shots from Tom Brady, and scoring a deep touchdown. So I think his first touchdown, or the first touchdown, will be a splash touchdown, and that recipient will be Antonio Brown. He's a chunk playmaker, and the way this depth chart falls for Tampa Bay, he's probably their best option at number 3. And that doesn't bode well for Dallas' secondary because we don't know how strong they are at the nickel spot. And I think that's an ideal spot for them to take advantage.
He had a great finish to the season, including the postseason. He had 6 touchdown receptions in his last 6 games. Emory says first touchdown scorer Antonio Brown plus 850. How about an anytime scorer in this game?
I spent all morning talking about him with anyone that would listen to CeeDee Lamb. I think he's going to find the end zone. He's someone that can put the ball in the paint. You talk about short pass, long way, but you can also get him involved in a wide receiver run game. He's a great person after the catch and also with the handoff. So as long as you get him the football, he has that mentality that I am going to score the ball. He's going to find his way to the end zone, and that's someone that you can trust to get into the end zone tonight.
All right, he had a total of 5 touchdowns his rookie season, but again, he had guys like Andy Dalton throwing him the football for much of the season. You can do so much tonight because it's the first NFL game of the season. There are so many props out there, so many different ways to do it. How about a same-game parlay that you like?
All right, I like the Bucks to win, and I also like CeeDee Lamb to score, and for Dak and also Tom Brady to throw for over 299.5 yards. This is whoever set this prop must have set this prop based off 1985, because they can go over 299.5 yards passing easily. Again, I already said I expect Dak to have like 30 receptions or 30 completions. Tom Brady has all the receiving options from receiver 1 to tight end 3, so they go deep. I expect those numbers to go over. I do expect the Bucks to win, and I also like CeeDee Lamb to get into the end zone.
Yeah, and the prop that we're showing on the screen right now doesn't include the CeeDee Lamb, but already that's almost a 3-to-1. If you can include CeeDee Lamb there, the value is going to go through the roof on that one. But the one we like here, Bucks money line, Brady and Prescott each reached the 300-yard passing mark. All right, how about an odds boost? We're going to see a lot of that tonight as well. If you can get an odds boost, what do you like?
You like Amari, Antonio Brown, and Zeke all scoring tonight. I think that's a great prop to have. These are some fun odd boost props, and you expect all of those guys to get into the end zone. I am expecting a nice little short burst of points, but definitely not enough to where it's going to go over that 50.5 number. So I do like Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper, and also Antonio Brown to score today.
Emory, our stats team getting crazy here. That 30-to-1, Bucks score a defensive special teams touchdown, and the Cowboys score a defensive special team touchdown. Is that just throwing your money away, or is there value at 30-to-1?
Listen, you might as well go put your money in the Plinko machine or these penny slots that people love to play rather than put money on that. However, one of those could possibly happen when you look at the pass rushers that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have. You talk about JPP. You look at the rookie Joe Tryon, who's going to be a higher gun this season because he's not going to be a full-time starter. So you could easily see a strip, sack, fumble, scoop, and score from the Bucks point of view, but not from the Cowboys' point of view. They would have to have an interception return for a touchdown, and Brady doesn't throw pick sixes like that. So I would definitely stay away from that defensive prop.
All right, Emory, we know you love a lot of your props tonight, especially ones including CeeDee Lamb, but what is your best bet for the NFL opener tonight?
Best bet is for Tampa to win between the margin of 1 and 6. And the reason why I say that, I don't think a lot of folks are giving the Cowboys credit for the matchups they have. Let's talk about one of the matchups. Blake Jarwin versus whoever's going to try to guard him at safety or linebacker. That's a matchup that they can win because they're thin at safety now with Whitehead not being out there. Then you also look on the corners. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are thin at corner. Cowboys can push the ball down the field vertically, so they're going to have some opportunities to score. And we talk about Tampa's defense, and we always talk about how good they were in the playoffs, but we only talk about the front four. If we don't talk about the back half of the defense, I think that's where Dallas will find those matchups on the intermediate level of the field, deep down the field, and they're going to spread the field out and try to run Zeke that way as opposed to line up like it's 1996 and run with a fullback. So expect him to play the spread game, the point-and-shoot game. I think that's going to keep it close, and that's why I like Tampa to win, but not by much.
That's the best bet from Emory Hunt, but there's plenty more where that came from. He's going to be rejoining us all throughout the afternoon and evening from the Caesars Sportsbook Wild Wild West Casino in Atlantic City. Thank you so much, Emory. Recapping his picks, he does like the Dallas Cowboys to cover the 8.5 and the under to hit. Like CeeDee Lamb over 5.5 receptions, Mike Evans over 4.5 receptions. Antonio Brown is the first player to score at plus 850. CeeDee Lamb, he thinks, will get in the end zone tonight at plus 150. Some more plays from Emory. The game parlay at almost 3-1 odds. The Bucs to win and the two quarterbacks, Brady and Prescott, to each reach the 300 passing yard mark. Odds boost on Zeke, Amari Cooper, and Antonio Brown to score at plus 450. And his best bet, Bucs winning by 1 to 6 points at plus 310.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.